then finally, Blissey. Blissey really has been a target of a lot of bans here today.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. You know, I definitely agree with that. Again, we have a little bit of maybe inside information. Hey, let's ban that Zoroark out. We did see AXK just play and have, I believe it was a Zoroark Comfy game that they leveraged with the KO Streak of 4. Might have even been a Penta, excuse me, to help get AXK over the match. So if your Fusion's like, well, whatever, play something else. We don't want to deal with this Zoroark. As we quickly look, that Miraidon first pick.
Yeah, Miraidon first pick. They were looking great on it earlier. Not a ton of teams bringing it out, but Fusion looking fantastic on it. Leafeon going over to the side of AXK, as well as the Eldegoss. A 100% pick rate in this tournament. Too good to not pick, and not broken enough to ban.
That just speaks to the state of the supporters. I think it was you mentioning earlier that Otter on Luminosity was saying, like, playing support is great. Every character is awesome.
Yeah, they're all so
and
good.
they're all very, very good. Ooh, okay. Pick rate of 11% Ho-Oh, so maybe another pick picked when you and I weren't watching that particular game or out in the field there. But it needs to be leveraged well.
Yeah, it absolutely does. If they can make it work and they can revive themselves against Fusion, that would be massive. Fusion just such a tough team to beat, you know, based on how they've been playing. You also just might be giving them a few more KOs as we get our final lock-ins here. Blaziken, Mimikyu, Hoopa on the side of Fusion.
That's one thing I am surprised at. I understand the Eldegoss pick rate is that high because it's, you know, like you said, not quite good enough to ban, but I would definitely be slotting Hoopa above Eldegoss on my particular priority list, but I'm not the one playing. These teams are. As they round out with Mew, and a good Mew player is a game changer.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because we have not seen much Mew throughout this tournament, right? I don't know if we've seen it at all on broadcast. It's one of those Pokemon that can play incredibly well when things are going well and when a player is at that high skill level, right? But a lot of the time, you don't see a player good enough to pilot what you do against a squad like Fusion. As we are heading into our game right here, Fusion, your purple team, AXK, your orange team. Will AXK be the lone Brazilian team to take Fusion down here in this day one best of one series right now? Fusion looking to make a clean sweep of it.
They're going to have to do a lot of work here is AXK to keep Fusion down. They are 4-0, looking to make it 5-0. Going back into the Lucario well, going back to the days of yore, and let's see how long this player has been playing, because you need to be playing for a minute if you want to make Lucario look good.
Yeah, it looks like down in the bottom path there, the Torchic just getting ripped apart by this Ho-Oh and Mew in this bot lane. Looking good for AXK. Even in this top path, I feel like they're securing well against Fusion.
Yeah, really well. They're able to put good pressure with the Leafeon kind of right in the central area. You actually see we still have a Torchic, and the level has kind of been stymied here. So AXK at 2 wins, 2 losses, Fusion 4-0. So a 3-2 here for AXK, and a great tiebreaker would serve them well.
Yeah, this would be a really nice one to win, obviously, for a lot of reasons here, but it also has a high likelihood of getting you into day 2, especially if you can take down the team that is currently undefeated, like you said. For a lot of tiebreaker situations, that would be massive for their group. Scoring up in the top path, Fusion puts some points on the board. It's going to bring them to 35 and 19 for the side of AXK.
Quick pressure on tempo, going straight for the score, getting their stack in, and slow is Draken to maybe try and get some of the attention, but they are not falling for the bait here, as they are just pressing tempo ad nauseum. Fubuki going to roll back down as the Leafeon has a chance to make an impact here as Hoopa's running across the way.
And we take a look here at what's happening in this top path. We have this Miraidon looking to make plays here against Lucario. They are doing better than the other side. They're out securing them more. They're at a higher level. As we have our teams running down to the central area here, looking to see what happened with this fight at the 8-minute bird. So I can tell you one thing, Mimikyu is picking up a KO right now. Massive play here from the Miraidon, but it goes down.
That was a great Electro Drift to kind of close the KO out, but getting caught certainly doesn't feel good. Still holding on to the level lead here, but Mono going straight for him, trying to chip them out of the reset and can't, which means Mimikyu has an opportunity to roll back through and absolutely cripple them. And Nemo steps out, actually the Hoopa going through first to try and draw some attention away, so at least that was a nice tactical re-entry into the battle.
And we could see Fubuki here looking to make a play, doesn't want to jump into the overheat, just trying to get some of that farm. If they can hit their level 8, they can get that early Unite move, but Tempo is online now with the Blaziken. We've got the combos, we've got the overheat, we've got Fire Punch, we have it all.
Now Ho-Oh has really just kind of been on guard duty in that bottom path. Meanwhile, just Anemo, Tempo, and gang are just moving forward. Zainu's on the Miraidon, using this Electro Drift, hitting every target too, and that is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, very beautiful plays here from the Miraidon. I feel like they've been holding themselves very well in this top path. Meanwhile, bottom path, Blaziken crushing it right now. As we have the fight pushing in the top path, it looks like actually they were able to make some headway. They're now scoring onto this top goal zone. Very nice stuff, and a good score there from AXK. This is going to put them up right now with Regieleki looking to be secured. We have Blaziken moving in. Oh, overheat barely missing.
So close. Really, that push was facilitated by Fubuki stepping up, getting a KO streak of 2 without any of their players going down, making an absolute impact. And now they're trying to collapse on Anemo, has to go back, and now Anemo's scrapping with everybody. They take down Leafeon first. Fubuki's gone, give him another after using the Unite move, and now we're going to press forward. Shadow Sneak hits on the Eldegoss, I believe, but they're not willing to engage on that. Mew uses their Unite move, and they're finding themselves as soon as they come out of it into the Electro Drift.
Wow, I mean, AXK feels like they really overstayed their welcome there with that Mew. They actually had an opportunity, I think, to get away from that fight, but wanted to try to get the KO on that Mimikyu. Of course, it would have been nice if they could with their Unite move. Not able to make it happen as we head back down to the bottom path here. Is Leafeon looking pretty good, level 10 right now. The only thing on the other side that is even scarier is that Mimikyu, already level 11.
And that happened because Anemo was able to get the knockout on Fubuki on the Leafeon to make that happen. We have a little overheat eject button action going through. Surf is going to close the door on Ho-Oh, really temper that fire down with a little bit of water. As we've been surfing through, you know I'm a big Surf Bro advocate here. If you are going to be playing that Pokemon Cotton Cloud Crash on Mew, to give them a little bit of sustain. But Draken not really afraid, really just getting the time for the rest of the team to leave.
You know, I got to say, I think AXK is actually playing really well into one of the best teams in this entire tournament right now. Looking for the KO on Blaziken, not able to make it happen. Blaziken pulls back here as they re-engage.
They have an opportunity for Ho-Oh Unite that would be really strong, but it's slow beam down, and they're going to knock it out before it can resuscitate the team. And all of a sudden, what looked like a great opportunity for AXK to bounce back and defend this gold zone is gone because of that prioritization target of Fusion. And that's the problem with Ho-Oh. If you know what the trick is, it's easy to point it out.
Yeah, I mean, beautiful play right there, right? You can KO a couple members, then as soon as Ho-Oh is ready to bring them all back, you've got the slow beam, you're ready to go. The burst from Fusion is incredible here. They secure the Regirock. That's going to give them defense, special defense here for these upcoming fights. Now we have Blaziken just looking to make some havoc happen in the central area. Nice place by AXK. I got to say, this team is counter-punching Fusion a lot harder than some of the other groups have.
We're seeing some of the stuff we saw out of Fusion at Worlds, where they're kind of getting a little bit in too deep waters. However, Kea and Draken weren't there for the support, so of course they get knocked out, and that's kind of living on the razor's edge. But the support core needs to be there to help bring you back from falling over. Fubuki trying to take over. They get KO'd quickly. Nice resuscitation by the Ho-Oh, going straight into that flame wheel around him, trying to put the pressure on, and now they're flame throwing down this Miraidon. These legendary Pokemon are scrapping. KO streak of 2 back the other way. We are fighting still, Spraggles, and we knew that about AXK.
Yeah, AXK is putting in the work here. You said they were brawling all last game, that you saw them. Look how well they're doing now. Mimikyu going in to clean this up. Here comes another Shadow Claw into a Shadow Sneak, looking to pick up another KO here. Can they make it happen? They miss. Massive Surf gets 3.
Draken is so sick, dude.
Going.
Draken is so sick, dude. That Surf through the wall to chip up 3 to let Anemo take a breath, reset, get all their cooldowns back, and get 3 KOs. Are you kidding me, dude? And that's what I'm talking about. When Anemo goes deep, when Tempo goes deep, is Draken and Kea picking up the pieces here. Give him a penta, please! Mimikyu is nasty business. We saw Bad Dreams earlier. AXK living in a nightmare.
Wow, a pause request here. We may have an issue with one of the devices. We also just might be a little overwhelmed.
I would pause too and be like, something's wrong here.
Yeah, actually,
I was hitting a lot of buttons here. And
KO, the Mimikyu level 14. Leafeon, nothing to laugh at though, level 13. Tempo, also 13 here, as they are cleaning up some of the wild Pokemon here on the map. Lucario looking pretty good level-wise too. As we said before, you know, AXK is very much in this game against the team that it is really hard to keep up.
Absolutely. Now, Fusion has the positional advantage on this Regirock. Doesn't even look like AXK is going to show up and try. I don't blame them. There's not going to be enough time for this Regieleki in the top path here. We've got Rayquaza in about 15 seconds, and it already looks like Fusion is looking for an aggro position here.
Yeah, here we go. Fusion just kind of in their faces a little bit, trying to get some information. Lucario looking around the top path right here. Fusion up by over 100, so they don't need to make the play, but here we have Tempo hiding in that tall grass on the side of AXK. They could be looking for a KO right here. Nice big focus blast as we have Fusion deciding when they want to pounce here.
They're looking to just kind of rotate around and see if they can get a catch. Not quite yet. Focus Blast goes in, ton of damage though.
Yeah, here we go. Possible Surf to start this thing off as we have AXK playing very safe in this moment, grouping up. We have the Mimikyu moving in.
Shadow Sneak on the Mimikyu. Ho-Oh's caught out, pinned out. They use the Unite move. Rings Unbound or stunning in the backline, charging up the overheat. Can we get a KO on Lucario? No, Mono makes it out of there. Finally, the Ho-Oh goes down. It didn't really get the res anyone because everybody was already down. Fubuki's down as well. So now it's just the Mew, just Lucario. Lucario's being chased away. Mew is going to get stunned and put down by the Surf. And now we've got a Rayquaza on the doorstep and getting knocked out. Here comes Mono, going to have to make a hero play. They are day late, dollar short. They are sent packing, son. That is a full team wipe. 10 Jack, Queen, King, Ace.
Beautiful stuff there from Fusion. Undefeated in their group stage, and you can see why. A picture-perfect fight. I gotta say, a lot of that fight hinged on Ho-Oh not using its Unite move early enough. They had the opportunity to use it, and instead we walked away from that fight with no Ho-Oh Unite being used. Without question, it's the big blunder of that fight for AXK. Had they had that Unite move, we don't know that they would have come back from it because Fusion was playing so well and they had a beautiful level advantage. But I can tell you one thing, if you don't get that Unite off, that Pokemon is going from maybe a top pick to one of the worst in the game.
I don't even know if it was within the range to resuscitate Fubuki there.
Yeah,
Nemo was going for a huge, was essentially kind of making a crescent around the Ray Pit, specifically looking for Ho-Oh. The moment they Shadow Sneaked onto Ho-Oh, they went in, but you actually saw a Nemo peel Ho-Oh left, and the rest of Fusion went up right and pushed everything away from Ho-Oh. And then it was Mimikyu Unite, right into the Shadow Claws and the knockout, and I mean, well executed. And that's the give and take with Ho-Oh. It can do some very powerful things, but everybody knows the powerful things it can do, and good players can mitigate that without a doubt.
And we have Fusion, obviously.